The Secrets of Stargate is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give.
You're listening to The Secrets of Stargate, Episode 23.
Lieutenant West, Jackson has identified the seventh symbol.
All right, here we go. We are about to try to make a connection.
All we gotta do is bust out of here, commandeer the ship, and fly on home.
Indeed. You say that a lot.
I know that this could be dangerous. But this is our job, right? It's what we signed on to do.
It was never about going home. It's about getting us to where we're going.
Hi, I'm Jack Baruzzini, and you're listening to The Secrets of Stargate, where we talk about the hidden meanings and deeper layers found in the Stargate movies, TV series, and more. And joining me today are Father Cory Sticha. Hi, Father.
How's it going, Jack?
It's going well. And Lisa Jones. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Jack.
And Victor Lambs. Hey, Victor.
Hi, Jack.
Today we are discussing the second episode of Season 2, In the Line of Duty. While evacuating the village from Monty Python's Holy Grail from the Goa'uld, Samantha Carter is infected with a Goa'uld symbiote. She passes an examination by Dr. Fraser, and her cover is only blown when Cassandra detects that there is a Goa'uld within. After they capture the Sam Goa'uld, she tells O'Neill that she is Jolinar of Melkshore, one of the Tok'ra, a rebel group of Goa'uld who have rebelled against the System Lords, and she will release Carter if they let her go free. Meanwhile, we learn that a severely burned victim from the evacuated planet turns out to be not so burned or much of a victim. He is an Ashtrack sent by the System Lords to kill Jolinar. The Ashtrack uses his mood ring to Jedi mind trick his way into the SGC to kill Jolinar, and almost succeeds but is double-zatted by Teal'c before he can escape through the Stargate. Jolinar dies, but he gives his life force to save Carter. So, what were your thoughts on this episode, Father Cory?
Well, this is one, of course, it sets up a very popular, very commonly recurring, I guess you could call them ally of the Tauri. They're sometimes they're allies, sometimes they're not happy with us because, we go around blowing up, the System Lords, and they don't like that when you do that because, it destabilizes things and stuff. No, This is a good episode. I mean, it introduces the Tok'ra really well, and this won't be the last we'll hear either of Jolinar. I just blanked out on the name. Yes. This won't be the last we hear of him either, even though obviously he died, but it will have a lasting effect for Sam.
Nice.
Going forward.
Nice. So we've got the Jaffa and we've got the Tok'ra. When are we going to get the Midnight Smokers? What about you, Lisa? What were your thoughts on this episode?
Well, I look at it as it's Sam's turn, right? She gets to get taken over by something, and she couldn't just be normal about it. She had to get taken over by, a rebel, different, someone who's going to sacrifice for her. So, just seemed fitting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. What about you, Victor?
I like this episode. It was written by Robert C. Cooper, directed by Martin Wood, which is kind of the Stargate dream team going forward in terms of writing and directing. So it's a classic Stargate episode. It opens with probably like the most action-packed opening of any Stargate episode so far. There's a lot of world building, mythology building going on in it. And it moves very, very quickly, and it's a very enjoyable episode.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. There were a few things I was wondering about, though, with the Ashtrack that's introduced, the hunters from the System Lords. They never really explain why he was there on that planet at that time, if they were also attacking the planet.
Yeah, like he had tracked him there, and then maybe a different System Lord had attacked.
Yeah.
Never really sure. But if he was sent by the combined System Lords, you're right, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, it seems like you don't want to set your own guy on fire if you're that close to the target, which seems to just be Jolinar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple of things that don't make sense about this episode, but go ahead, Father Cory.
Yeah.
I was going to say, but I mean, we can always just default back to, the System Lords, they might work together sometimes they've got their own egos to deal with, and so Jolinar might have particularly ticked off one of them, and so he decided he wasn't going to wait for the assassin to do his job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so with the opening there, at first I thought, just based on the way the set design was, that they were back on the Viking planet from the first season. So
yeah, we get it. Yeah, I mean, you'll see that they kind of have the same sorts of villages that they use all the time. It's a recurring thing, at least in SG-1 and then in Atlantis 2, where they keep winding up kind of in medieval Renaissance fair worlds, and they have like the same musical hook that they play whenever they go to one of those worlds. So it's kind of amusing. But yeah, this is their 8th, 9th century planet, as you mentioned.
Right. This goes through the whole like the cycle we get into with people being taken over by Goulds or by something, and you really think that they would beef up their screening protocols, and they talk about this in the episode, like from now on everyone has to get an MRI and an X-ray before we even let them in, and I feel like that should be standard operating procedure.
But at the same time, the hunter guy, he got in through the he got in through the top side of the mountain. So really, security on both sides was not excellent.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a recurring theme. Oops, somebody else got in, right?
Exactly.
And when you think about it, too, the other thing that didn't make a lot of sense to me was if Cassandra had not detected the Gould in Sam, like Jolinar would have just gone through the Stargate, presumably gone into a host that was more willing, sent Sam back, would have still be alive, and, they wouldn't have had all those dead guards and stuff. So really a lot of this is on Cassandra.
Blame the girl. Blame the little girl.
Well, I think also, like Jolinar makes himself out to be like on their side, but the very first thing he does is threaten to kill Cassandra, which kind of sets up the whole, you're not going to trust someone who starts off with that. If they had just went to General Hammond and said, hey, this is what happened, they might have had a better chance of establishing that trust earlier on.
Well, yeah, actually think about it. A Gould takes over the host and they have the memories, everything of the host. So you would think, right? If they had everything that Sam knows, then they could have just done something with the computer and spun up the Stargate and hightailed it out of there, or knew how to present an argument to, like you said, to General Hammond or somebody else. But the Tok'ra assert themselves as completely different from the Gould. But as we get to know them better, they share some of the same traits.
Yeah.
Like arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of having that long view in terms of thinking in centuries rather than, the next week or two, like humans do. But no, that is true, and we've seen cases where like the host will relinquish control and allow, or the Gould will relinquish control and allow the host to speak. And in that case, it would have been easy for Sam to say, yes, Jolinar's different, everything's cool here. But instead, Jolinar pretends to be Sam, saying, "Help me, help me, help me." So
it doesn't engender trust.
Another unforced error there.
Well, it's one of those great tropes of, we really didn't trust you, humans, so we had to check you out first. Never mind, I'm in your jail, and I could have gotten out of your jail very quickly if I had just put a little bit of trust in you.
Yeah. Definitely do get a lot of that. I like the effect they do with the burn guy, because he does the whole gold regeneration thing, and they just get the whole cast to light up. Thought that was cool.
Because I guess he swallowed his ring, and so it was.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
In his belly, and it lit up his belly and healed him, and then he choked it up and put it on his hand.
Is that thing
exactly
like the newer, sleeker model of that big, huge like hand bracelet Infinity Gauntlet thing that they had in the past?
The device, yeah.
The extremely efficient way of killing someone device.
Yeah. But I mean, that gets back to like, I have a recurring nightmare where I'm swapped out with a person with bandages on their face and nobody knows it's me. So
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, that was kind of dark there, but at least whatever his name was, Dr. Carter or Dr. Whatever his name was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't Dr. Warner.
Nope. No, it wasn't Dr. Warner.
Oh, speaking of doctors, do you realize this is the first episode we get Doc Frazier's first name?
Oh, nice.
Really?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She's officially Janet now.
Nice. And even
That's right. They never mentioned her name till this. That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until I read it, and I was like, oh, I guess you're right. That's funny.
I do also think that so when Sam comes in to see Cassandra and she tells her how good her painting is, I feel like for her age, it's
not that. Yeah. Well, she's finger painting and she's like, what, 10 or 11 or 12 now? And she's like, yeah, my teacher says I have talent. And I was like, well, when's your teacher going to give you a brush? I mean,
yeah.
Maybe they're just grading on a curve since she's from another planet.
She is from,
Yep.
She's probably new to painting.
Yeah.
Come on.
But I liked that.
Okay, another discrepancy. How come Cassie can sense the gold and Teal'c can't?
Because Teal'c doesn't have Naquadah in his blood.
Right.
But in a couple of seasons, we discover
that he can, yeah.
That he can. All Jaffa can. So that's one of those early things that they tweak and change later.
Yeah. But we've seen that Teal'c kind of likes to prank SG-1 by not mentioning like very relevant. Like we're on a starship, things like that, just not bringing it up.
Yeah. You didn't ask. No.
Yeah.
He doesn't say much, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also with the device that kills Jolinar. That part really did not make a lot of sense. Like that whole resolution with Jolinar being killed by the hand thing, and then the Ashtrack going back and him getting killed, which made sense because he was double zatted. But so he's dead, and then he's not dead. Like, why don't you just shoot him in the head with a primitive human weapon? I feel like that would have been a quicker way to take care of that.
Not painful enough is the only thing I can think. Yeah. Like a slow agonizing death for the symbiote would probably be what the system lords would deem
true,
worthy for a traitor.
Got to go the Bond villain route.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
So with Daniel Jackson, he's got kind of a subplot in this episode with the woman from the planet, and it almost seemed like they were kind of moving towards like a romantic pairing for them. Like they kind of bond over the fact that both their spouses were taken by the Goa'uld, and they move through that, but then nothing ever really comes of it. I was kind of expecting there to be something.
Think about it. Her husband just died.
Yeah, but it's a TV show, so
yeah.
10 minutes ago.
Plus, if you notice,
they do play it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you notice, Daniel's the only one bringing Sam flowers.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's more evidence in the Daniel Sam ship department.
They're siblings. Brother, sister.
And he gets the emotional manipulation hook here from Jolinar with him saying that they can bring back Sharae and he knows where he is or where she is.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see how or if that gets paid off, because I don't know yet. So
you want a spoiler?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
One little I know this is usually your thing, Victor, but the woman who played Talia, do you know where you've seen her before?
No.
She was on the Waltons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She played Mary Ellen.
Oh, goodness.
Red hair.
Wow.
The daughter, Mary Ellen.
Yeah.
The whole thing I kept thinking, man, she looks so familiar. I used to love the Waltons when I was a kid. So.
Yeah, Judy Norton.
Time, so.
Yeah, same here. Sorry, I never watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good night, John Boy. Really? Okay.
Good night.
Well, I know
Night
the
Pop
line
or
but-
whatever. Yeah,
I know
yeah.
the reference, I think, from Family Guy, but
There you go. Aw.
Or Christmas Vacation. I think they do it there too.
Right.
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So kudos to them for trotting out a word like Tok'ra and then like not giving it the definition right away. You know, it means resistance, but also it actually means like against Ra. So these were the Goa'uld who stood against Ra and the System Lords. But I don't think they mentioned that in this episode. I think it's later on. And so, you know, kudos to them for not like saying, oh yeah, we're the Tok'ra. You know, that means against Ra because we fight against Ra and the System Lords. So I thought that was a nice
special
touch.
handshake or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of, I feel like the way you make a Goa'uld name is you just type some letters and then you hit apostrophe somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
that would be it.
Yep.
I like that line. We don't carry identification.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The ring is called a Harakesh. And so he mentions that in this episode, you know, like, you know, behold the power of this fully operational Harakesh. You see.
Yeah.
So.
I do like that they're introducing Goa'uld who are not quite as evil / kind of good, because it expands upon them being just like one-dimensional villains.
Yeah, and a little bit later on, we'll get another very good Tok'ra character who becomes a regular recurring character on the show too.
Nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I did like the way they set up how the Tok'ra normally get their hosts, right? To join with a human who's dying, and I thought that was a really nice, setup, because you know that's going to come into play, right?
Yep.
For later, who wants to be a host?
Yeah.
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 Forget Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the Trill from Star Trek, but it seems like the Goa'uld are more the in control mind, and it's less of a symbiosis there. At least that's how it's been played so far in the show.
The Goa'uld, yes. The Tok'ra, no.
Yeah, the
Interesting.
Tok'ra will switch back and forth. So
Two people sharing one body.
Yep. And they settle on using the Goa'uld voice and the human voice to really denote who's in control. So
Nice.
they'll do that more later on.
I did notice with the effect that they do for Sam's eyes when she's a Goa'uld, like it was very different from the way they've done it in the past. Like it was a lot less like brilliant, and I wonder if they did that to kind of at the beginning before you knew the twist to give you like some sort of questioning of that, because they immediately show it as soon as she gets the parasite in her.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like kind of a visual cue.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when they introduce the Tok'ra later on, I don't think they keep doing the eye thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so either.
No,
I
they
think
just switch voices. They like you said, they just switch voices between the human and Goa'uld voice.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I really feel like in this episode they were setting it up. I mean, they were setting up all that tension and worry, and you know, we've had Sharae, we've had Skara, we've had all these characters, Kowalski, who they haven't been able to save, and then now you've got one of your four main characters. Uh-oh. Well, what now? Are we going to suddenly learn how to get a Goa'uld out of a person and save them, or what?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a nice twist that it was a Tok'ra and that she died and saved Sam
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah, no.
It would have been an interesting choice on their part if they would have allowed the Tok'ra to remain in Sam for a couple of episodes or something, and they had to try to kind of figure that out, and then had this happen. That would have been kind of an interesting twist to this, but
yeah. If they'd made this episode, if they'd done the storyline in a modern show, this would be like a season-long arc.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Or,
very dark.
oh, nobody knows. Yeah. And it would have been very annoying. It's like, I hate it when they do that on shows now and they think they're being clever by having like the audience knows somebody's evil, but nobody else does. And it's pretty obvious that everybody else would know that something's up, but
yeah, it would have been just like Ash Tyler in Discovery.
Yeah,
It would have been like a
exactly.
season-long back and forth thing, and she probably would have killed people with her bare hands or something really horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Instead, she just insults Teal'c within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can't hold this in any longer. We get like one of the funniest jokes in this episode too. So like when Dr. Gould is infiltrating the base, right? And Dr. Gould, he's wearing his doctor coat, and he jumps in and he says, "Excuse me, airman." And the generic random airman guy number one turn around and goes, "Yeah, Doc, what's up?"
Nice.
Like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doc, what's up? So I just thought that was a nice
I didn't catch that. That's awesome.
a nice touch. Yeah.
Nice.
There's lots of that. And when he jumps into the truck, it's like, "Who are you?" "John Adams." You're not John. So there was a lot of like T-1000 in the ash rack here. It's just kind of like, "Have you seen this boy? Are you John Connors?" That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we get a lot of that.
So were we supposed to feel bad for Jolinar dying?
I'm not sure. I think you're supposed to see, like, it's kind of like, oh, look, he would have actually let her go in the end.
Yep.
Yeah,
That kind of
oh,
thing.
y'all made a wrong choice kind of thing.
I think we're supposed to feel bad that Sam feels bad, but we haven't seen enough of Sam's agency in dealing with the, possession by the Gould and stuff. And if they had actually had her come out and say, "No, Jack, you have to listen to Jolinar. He's telling you the truth. Don't hurt him. Don't let anything bad happen to him. He can help us." And then Jack still went ahead and like let Jolinar die. Then I think that would have been more effective at the end, instead of just, why is Sam sad? Like we don't really know. And it's not like they spend the next episode like they would in a show now with Sam just like sitting around moping and talking about why she feels so bad. But
Yeah.
thank goodness.
Yeah, we get a few. We just jump right back in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a while
Yeah.
for us to deal with the fallout from Jolinar.
Yeah.
Like I think most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, another funny moment or moment that made me laugh at least is when Daniel runs into the gate room and sees the ash rack who he recognizes from the hospital. He goes, "Hey, I know you." He's immediately taken hostage.
Yeah.
"Oh, geez." And that "oh, geez" is a very Daniel reaction.
Yeah. Sounds like a nod again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making
Well, I love the.
Yeah.
I love the. "Sorry, Daniel." Zap.
Yeah.
And he's in there flopping around like a fish.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this also throws the whole just check them behind the neck and make sure they're not a Gould thing out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have to like say and look in their mouth too, I guess.
Yeah.
How long do those medicals take?
Yeah, no doubt.
You just need like one of those airport TSA scanners that can just X-ray you, check and see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just walk through it with your arms up.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny.
It is kind of a.
Okay.
I was gonna say they do make a distinction about that eventually of how the Goa'uld, because they do it by force, they come in from the back, and the Tok'ra, because they do it willingly, they come in through the mouth.
Interesting.
That's right.
Okay.
I forgot.
They do eventually make that distinction that it's a conscious choice of the Tok'ra to do it that way because it's willing usually.
Except in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I say is buy me a couple of drinks first, right? So
No.
yes, another nice bit. Frasier rides in on the cart with Sam when they're wheeling her into the operating theater to prove out just like how hardcore a doctor she is. She's just like coasting in on the cart. Yeah.
I do that at the grocery
Good
store
thing
sometimes.
she's so small,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, it also makes you realize how tall the rest of them are because she looks tiny
Yeah.
in the show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's taller than me.
They also, I feel like you'd want to get some, do like a blood transfusion on Cassandra and get that Anaquita blood and put it in like a handheld. You can just scan people.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Wait a minute. I'm just checking my notes here. The man's wife says, okay, so the wife in the hospital said that her husband had a strange scar on the back of his neck. And that was a few months ago. So didn't come in through the mouth then. Myth busted.
He was the...
No, he was the Tok'ra.
Yeah, he was the good...
Right.
Yeah.
But it was also not willing either. So I think it was...
okay.
Just opportunity.
Yeah, they kind of... We should do a Secrets of Supernatural too, because this is kind of how they do the difference between like demon and angel possession in that show and stuff. Kind of that the host is willing and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Do that after Secrets of Hercules.
Yeah, Secrets of Hercules, Secrets of Andromeda.
Yes.
Nightman.
Oh boy.
Time Cop. Cleopatra,
Victor,
25,
you got all the
25.
time in the world for this, huh?
Yeah, well, if we do Supernatural, that'll take us like 7 or 8 years just to get through all 15 seasons of that. So,
oh my God.
Yeah,
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Father Cory, did you have anything else to add?
Well, that little hand device, it'd be pretty cool for having x-rays, just be able to do the x-rays where it just shows you right on the surface of the skin. You don't even have to worry about, a machine or anything. You just zip it over them and that'd take care of everything. And then, boy, they've got really advanced EEG machines, electrocardiogram machine, or EEGs, brain pattern scanners, because it could do 2 of them at the same time. Never mind they wouldn't have anybody to test this on, but it can break them out into 2. So that's pretty advanced.
Mm-hmm.
They use their Apple Watch.
2 brains in 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have. What about you, Lisa?
Well, we haven't talked about the elephant in the room, and that is Jack Sam's ship, right?
The moment was nice at the end when, Sam's in trouble, or, there's trouble in the gate room. Teal'c runs to the gate room, but Jack stays with Sam.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And he called her Sam.
Yeah.
Which he never does.
Yep.
Yeah, regulations and all that.
Yeah.
And she called him Jack, but when it was Joel and R, so that doesn't count.
Right.
So we just had a lot of concern from him on this one. And then the using her first name. That was big.
But did he bring her flowers? I think not.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
For her dad, right? Her dad called him up and said, "Hey, would you bring my daughter flowers?" That's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
I think we'll need to do a debate episode.
Yeah.
Where you each present your
There you
cases.
go.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I like this idea.
Yeah. And so, like I said in the beginning, Carter, of course, she gets taken over by a kick butt Tok'ra, right? Not just your average Gould, but, one of those who's a rebel, blew things up, saved her race, sacrifices herself. And I keep saying her because, we find out that she originally came from a woman. So she has lots of girl memories. And, so, Sam just can't be normal. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was worried when you said we have to talk about the elephant in the room. And I was like, that's not a nice thing to say about Sam, considering that elephant tranquilizer that they, that they hit her with. But
nice.
But
and you see the way she hit Jack? That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that was a really good scene too. That was a really good tense scene.
Yeah.
I just want one of those like Che Guevara style T-shirts now with Sam. It says Tok'ra on it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's probably on Etsy.
Probably. What about you, Victor?
No, I really like this episode. The only other thing I would say is that it gets points for mentioning Mayborn, but points taken away for not actually putting Mayborn in the episode.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. But it would have added another layer of complexity it probably didn't need.
Yeah.
But you would have gotten to see Mayborn.
Yeah.
His scenes are always fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, we'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create the Secrets of Stargate, including Alan P., Doreen M., Randy S., Andrew P., and Cody. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue the Secrets of Stargate and all the shows at StarQuest. You can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. Be sure to follow the show in Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or on the SQPN YouTube channel. To find previous episodes of Secrets of Stargate and to send feedback, please visit sqpn.com/Stargate. You can email us at stargate@sqpn.com or follow StarQuest on social media at facebook.com/StarQuestMedia or on Twitter at SQPN. You can also join the StarQuest fan club mailing list by texting StarQuest to 66866. Send StarQuest to 66866. We'll be back next time when we'll be discussing the next episode of SG-1, Prisoners. Until then, Father Cory, thank you for joining me and sharing the secrets of Stargate.
Thank you, Jack.
Lisa Jones, thank you as well.
Thanks, Jack.
And Victor Lambs, thank you too.
Thanks, Jack, I think.
And once again, I'm Jack Baruzzini. Thank you for listening to The Secrets of Stargate on StarQuest.
Anyway, I'm sorry, but that just happens to be how I feel about it. What do you think?